Hi, everyone. I am Leigh Keckner here at the Messy Imperfect Life with Leigh podcast. And today on the podcast, I have a real housewife of New York, or maybe an ex. We'll see what it's really called in the hip world. She is just launching her own line of home products and everything else, which I can't wait for her to tell us about. And she's also has one of the kindest hearts I know, sassy, and is a hell of a tennis player. It is Miss Jill Zarin. Woo!
Wow, what an introduction. Thank you, my friend.
How are you?
I am busy. I
Oh.
just moved 2 days ago. So I literally just had the movers here hanging up all my art and mirrors, as you can see behind me, waiting for the TV to come in behind me to fill in. So much going on. And I just bought a new house, and I got to sell my other house, and I'm renovating another house, and I'm building a brand, and I'm busy.
That is
one thing I'm not doing is what I should be doing, which is playing tennis. I'm not playing tennis, but I hurt my knee, so it's not a bad thing. But I really miss tennis, and I signed up for a tennis team, and I haven't played one match this year, and they're really not happy with me right now. So
okay. How did you hurt your knee? How did you hurt your knee?
Playing tennis like a month ago. I think I heard it. I think it's like a bursitis thing. So we'll see. I'm getting some medicine for it.
Oh my gosh, because I just fell roller skating, didn't break my fall onto concrete.
Why were you roller skating?
Not because I love it so much.
Do you really?
I love roller skating, except this time it was right before my Halloween party. I had on my skeleton costume. Somebody was talking to me.
You had a Halloween party. Oh, next year, invite me. Maybe I'll surprise you and come.
I will. You better come if I invite you, girl.
You know what's so funny? It's like out of sight, out of mind with everybody. You know, like I found out my friend on social media. That's the worst thing about social media is the FOMO. Totally. Because out of sight, out of mind, you don't know what you don't know until you open up Instagram and find out that your best friend had the party of the year in Las Vegas at her beautiful home for Christmas. And being Jewish, number one, I never get Christmas parties. So to me, it's a big deal. And I don't know if I would have gone to Vegas for it, but she should have invited me. And I'm a little
Did you talk to her about it after?
No.
Or no, not yet?
No, because I found out she was in New York at the Christmas show. My daughter, by the way, I don't know this. My daughter tells me everything because I'm too busy to even look at Instagram. But she says to me, I won't say her name, Caroline. Caroline. And I said, what do you mean? She goes, I saw her, and I'm like, she comes to New York and doesn't call me. Is she kidding?
That's two things in a row.
And now I'm and by the way, I flew to her daughter's wedding in Cabo in July. That's a friend. By the way.
Okay, wait. You said she was one of your best friends.
Best friends.
Now, if she's one of your best friends, can't you?
A long time ago, so it's hard. We're on different.
Stay in touch.
Yeah, but we are like it's like I pick up the phone like with you. It's like we talked yesterday. It could be 5 years. Doesn't matter.
Okay, so what the heck are you going to do with that? Because that's two.
What I did is I spoke to her son, who said he wasn't invited either because he's in California. So he said, "Don't feel bad. I wasn't invited either." So then I was like, "Okay, I'm good." She didn't invite her son.
And really, you're good? Or is that still kind of ruminating?
Oh, no, I'm good.
It's already done.
It's done.
It's also because you have 15 things going right now.
More. Too much to count.
So
let's put it this way. I now have 2 assistants, Leigh. I never in my life thought I'd ever have one, let alone 2.
I love it.
Because I'm in New York and I'm in Florida and I need one in each place.
Okay. What are you? Are you in your new home right now?
I am in New York City. Because I thought I was going to give up an apartment here because I really am a resident of Florida and I'm there more than I'm here. So, but Allie's got her own apartment downtown, but because our warehouse is up in this area, I feel like I still need a presence here. Like Allison's apartment's small. So if I come up and stay with her, one day, and I don't want to go to a hotel to do business. It's just not,
right.
I need a home. And they all come to me, all my employees come to me to work here, even if I'm not here. So this is
show me a little bit around your New York place because it looks freaking amazing. Where is it in New York?
It's on in the 60s, but I'm on like the 45th floor. It's like it's the penthouse. But what's crazy is I'm living
moving on up
to the east side. And you know what? When I did my video, I actually did that song. But by the way, I thought I lived in paradise, and I loved my other apartment. It was completely different than what I had ever lived in because when I lived with Bobby, I was on the 30th floor. I don't know who's here. I was on the 30th floor. I had a great view. It was a great view. I never thought anything of it. So when I moved, I wanted old world. I wanted a fireplace. I wanted a terrace, and I loved it. But it wasn't a traditionally set up apartment. It was 2 apartments combined. So like it didn't have a half bath. I'm in a proper 1-bedroom apartment that has a half bath, a past.
That's a 1-bedroom?
This is a 1-bedroom.
It looks
it's
huge.
a very big 1-bedroom.
All right, can you do a little show around?
Well, I wish it was sunset because the sunset.
Look at
this.
this. Your view.
I know. No, it gets better as I keep going. But at night, it's so much better. Oh, look who's here. My daughter's here. Allie.
Allie, hi.
Allie, do you remember Leigh? Did you ever meet Allie? When you came
I spent time with her in a hot tub with her friends. She better remember me.
Oh, this is the best view, which is hard to see. But these are the biggest buildings in the world. I don't know if you can see them in the back. Those 3 buildings are the biggest buildings like in the world. They're like gigantic. I think they were horrible. I think they're too big. I think they don't belong in New York. I think,
but they're kind of cool to look at when it's lit up.
People never live in them, and one person or one family is taking up all that space in our view. It's just terrible. I mean, I'm 45. I'm not 135. I mean,
you're 45.
This is 45.
You know what's so weird? I always think I'm the same age as everyone. Tell Allie to put her face in.
Oh no, I meant 40. Sorry. I'm not 45 years old. I thought you were on the 45th floor. No, not 45.
How old are you?
I'm 58.
Oh my gosh, because I was going to say I'm 55. I thought we were about the same age. I was like, holy hell, how'd I get 10 years off?
I can't believe it. You still have little kids.
I have a 10-year-old.
So young. You have a 10-year-old. You have a 10-year-old?
Yes.
You had one at 45?
At 45.
Oh my God, Leigh.
Tell Allie to put her face in here and say hi.
Oh, look who, Gary loves me.
Now they talked me into something.
Pinkberry.
Hi,
So
Gary.
Hello. Hey, how are you?
How are you? It's good to see
I
you.
know, of course.
I remember when you guys, I spent a little time in bed with you too.
You did. Oh, Gary.
Okay, so they talked me into something. I think I made a
Can you
mistake.
put in the freezer,
They
please,
gave me
before lunch?
$2 off and they said this was icier because it's from the fridge.
Oh, no, that's okay.
Are you sure it's
frozen.
not a scam?
It's actually better because you had to walk, so it would melt if it was.
Wait, he thought it was a
I thought
scam.
it was what, too.
Okay,
All right.
all right.
Anyway,
Okay.
bye.
Nice to see you, handsome.
Gary goes out in this thing and he puts Bossy in the pocket.
Oh, I love that so
Puppy in the
much.
pocket.
Bossy.
Puppy in the
That
pocket.
looks New York to me.
People are like, are you happy to
Bossy.
see me or is that a puppy in your pocket?
Bossy.
And which do you answer, Gary?
He is so funny, Leigh. I can't even live with him. It's too funny. By the way, look at your coloring and look at mine. I look so yellow. I look like I have,
You
what's
look
that
like you have
disease?
suntan.
I look like I have a suntan, a fake tan. Should I move?
No, I think you look pretty. I have bright lights on me, so it's kind of blowing me out a little.
You look great.
Okay, I love.
What?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is how Jill Zarin rolls.
I'm on a podcast.
She's on a podcast.
Yes, we
Allie,
started.
she's on my podcast. Quit talking to her.
Allie's like, did you start it yet?
What the hell is
Oh my
Greg Romano?
God.
We're in it.
You're in it, Allie, and so are you, Gary.
Is Greg Romano the guy from Everyone Loves Ray?
No, that's Ray Romano. Go away.
Goodbye.
Get out of here.
I love that show.
I can't. Oh, now
Oh.
the phone's ringing. Would you please answer the phone?
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, this is Jill Zarin. She's in a podcast, but she's also doing what she does for a living, which is reality TV, or has in the past, but
used to.
still does.
I
You
don't
used to,
really do
but
much anymore.
you still do now in
Getting
your
out of the sun.
promotions.
I'm gonna move. I'm moving over to the sofa. The sun is too
Okay.
strong. It's bothering me.
Okay, you got to move.
Sorry, everybody. I gotta move. I mean, I'll still have light on me, but I gotta move.
Okay.
Who's Jessica? Oh, my notary is here. I have to notarize.
Oh,
the
she
document.
is? So is she going to come? Is she going to come in and have you sign something?
Oh, yeah.
What's
the papers are right
happening?
here. We'll just sign and notarize at the same time. I'm a multitasker, Leigh. I couldn't
but
do all this if I didn't have 5 things going at the same time.
You always do. But do you know what multitasking is, Jill Zarin?
Yeah, it's ADD.
Multitasking means you're doing everything half-assed,
That's exactly what it is.
but you're getting
But
shit
there
done
should
and
be
you're
an
launching your
acronym.
brand.
You know what? Let's come up with an acronym for that. ADD. Like, I don't know what the A is. Gary,
A would
come
be
up with an acronym for me. ADD,
always.
half-ass.
Always.
Hmm?
Always.
Oh, always. Deficient.
Distracted.
Distracted.
Always distracted. Wait, AD. And then the other D. And darling.
Always distracted and darling. Well, it's better than what it was. But
Right.
attention. Well, I guess it stands for attention deficit
You
disorder.
need me again?
No, not really.
Call me for something.
Thank you.
Just tell me.
I live in a zoo.
It is a complete zoo. Okay, but wait, your lifestyle brand is launching, which I'm so
So,
intrigued
you know
by.
what, just, well, okay, let me, I want to deep dive that a little bit. Okay, listen, guys, I'm in a meeting. You need to be quiet. Yes, I'm in a meeting.
Tell them to get, yes, she's in a meeting and we're recording. Now go
I'm
into
in
the
a meeting
bedroom
that's
to
being
talk.
recorded, Allie.
Or the bathroom,
forever.
Allie.
Well, then stop talking. She says, stop talking to us. You're distracting me. Quiet.
Take some pregnancy tests.
Okay, Gary, Allie's taking another COVID test. Everybody in New York has COVID, by the way, except for me. Everybody has COVID.
Is it so
Everybody.
bad?
They just shut down the theater.
Sweating profusely. I don't
I'm an
know why.
investor and ain't too proud.
That's because you have that faux
Yeah.
fur jacket on,
You got the fur
Gary.
jacket on. I'm an investor and ain't too proud to beg, and they were going on their first tour at the Kennedy Center, and I got an email last night saying shut down 13 days. COVID.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's really serious now.
Why do you think that
I wouldn't say
is?
that the deaths are up or the hospitalizations, but listen, I just read that this guy who was on 90 Day Fiancé second season, 45 years old, perfectly healthy, wouldn't vaccinate, died yesterday. If you don't know by now to get a vaccine, you're just an idiot.
It's interesting. It's interesting to hear, we've all been vaccinated, right? When we were babies, we had every vaccine they ever made.
Why all of a sudden now do they think there's a conspiracy against a vaccine that saves your life? I don't know. And by the way, but this is my new theory. Leigh, this is not theory, this is my new point, is like,
What?
okay, so if you believe that the vaccine's going to do something to you and you're part of that 10% or 20% of the population, good luck to all of you who are left alive together, that 20%. I don't want to be with you anyway. So just kill me all. So if it's true, if what you're saying is true, that we're all going to die, some terrible thing's going to happen to all of us or whatever that is, that's okay with me because I don't want to be stuck with all of you idiots.
You are so hilarious. I
That's
also
another
know if you over focus on COVID and you give it so much energy, it grows inside of you. It's like whatever you water grows, you're going to get it if you focus on it. Just do
Wow,
what you're
about
supposed
that.
to do, wear your mask, wash your hands, be a good
Well,
citizen.
my girlfriend calls me. I won't name her name. She called me half an hour ago.
I
She
know you're
said-
going to name her name because you
I'm
already
not
named
gonna
your
name her
friend's name.
She's in California on vacation with her kids. I was supposed to be with her, but I had to cancel because I had to move. And she says, and she's moving into this building a week from now.
Uh-oh.
We're moving literally, she's my best friend. And she called me up a few hours ago and said, I think I have COVID. What do I do? I said, well, you're not going to get on a plane. And she goes, and I think my son has it. I said, you're both not going to get on a plane.
And they're
She goes,
both
well,
vaccinated,
if I don't
but
take a test, can I go? I said, no, you can't. And she knew
people are
that. Anyway, she
interesting
took
when
a
they
COVID
find
test.
out and they have plans,
But
Jill,
she needed
people are,
me to tell her, like she needed her mother, like she needed me to tell her the right thing to do. And then she got a COVID test and she's negative. So now she
Oh,
feels
good.
okay.
big,
But I said,
what's
you
a
shouldn't
trip
travel
is?
anyway if you don't feel well.
I have heard a couple of people who think I might have it, but I don't want to test because then I'll be in trouble because
She
I have
said
to
you could
travel.
go to jail. If you test positive and travel, you can go to jail.
I've never
I didn't
heard
know
that, but that makes sense because you're knowingly affecting people.
Of course. I mean, it's just terrible. But I needed to yell at her about that. But she's okay now. She can
Well, I'm
travel.
glad you
She can-
mothered her to take the test.
Well, I had
And
to
that's
tell her,
fun
I
that
had
your real best friend's moving in. That's going to be a freaking blast.
to- I'm not sure. We'll see
Oh,
about
right.
that.
Because it might be too
mean,
close.
She's 3 floors below me. That means she doesn't even need to wait for an elevator.
She could
She's
just
telling
run
me how
up.
we're going to have breakfast in the morning. I'm like, no, we're not. No, we're not.
So you're going to have to set up some boundaries.
Yes, absolutely.
You can't come over for this time. You have to text and ask if it's a good
You
time.
got to call.
And you
first.
can't,
just
we
show up.
have to say we're going to see each other once a week. So you don't try every day and then get mad at me because I want my alone time.
Yeah, no, it's tough. But now I think she's got a boyfriend now. So I think it'll be okay.
Now, can we talk about something right now that we have not spoken about, but I just have such an in common thing. And I'm sure everyone knows this because you've already spoken about it. Can we talk a little bit about Allie and the whole thing? Because, I think how long ago did you have Allie?
Wait, what do we have in common, Leigh?
Well, that we both use different ways to have our children
Didn't know that.
and how reactive people can be to it when it's your own private business.
Didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't
So
know your story.
For me, I almost died having my first. They took out my uterus. So we made embryos and grew them in other people's bodies.
Oh, so it's still yours and your husband's.
It's still mine and my husband's, but number one, we did this 23 years ago and only Joan London had done it.
Okay.
And I know yours was a long time ago as well. But what I know for sure is, and this is big for people, I think 1 in 4 couples struggle with infertility. And so that's why there's so many actually fraternal twins now, because they're getting so good at in vitro and all of that so many people are now having babies that couldn't in the past. But what I found interesting is that 1 in 4 couples, right? It's something that when you get to the point of making a new choice rather than just having sex, like you think almost everyone does, and you're so fragile and you're so heartbroken and you're so worn down that you make a decision that's right for you, right? And it's a personal decision, right?
Yes.
And you might be ready to share it. You might not be ready to share it, but you do what's right for you.
Did someone share it for you that you didn't want people to know?
No, I think mine was more reaction from some of my family members and reaction from other people
They
with
judged
such
you? Were they
judgment.
judging you? Really?
Yeah.
Because someone else carried your embryo because you couldn't?
Yeah.
That was a long time ago. Do you think they would judge you today?
Well, now they probably think that I was just doing it to try and stay thin, but for me, it was literally,
By the way, if that would work, that wouldn't be a bad reason.
I know, but people are
Just
always
saying.
like, oh,
I'm
that's
just
why.
saying.
No, but people always, I agree. But people always say to me, that's why you look that good, because you hired other people to carry your kids. I'm like, I would have
Which,
carried
by the
all of
way,
them had I
it's
could.
so mean when people don't know your story. I mean, it's so horrible.
Isn't
So
it horrible? Because
It's horrible.
and surrogacy for me ended up really fantastic, right? But during it was some of the biggest heartache and surrender of my life, that somebody else had my kid and I would have done anything to have my own baby.
Did you have any problems? Was it the same? I'm just curious. Was it the same person carrying?
No, the first person, it was such a bumpy ride that I started out thinking, oh, we're going to be all friends and all that. And then it got so gnarly that I just was like, God, just give me a healthy baby and I'm done. Like it became a business
Was there ever an
transaction.
issue? Because it really was your baby physically. It wasn't like and it was your egg and his sperm. Was there ever a minute that they may not have wanted to give up the baby?
Oh, no.
No,
Hold on. I have to
straight up
just peek
business.
super quick because it just said low battery, but my Mac is plugged in. Hang on really quick.
I love that your glasses match your sweater. You look so
I got
cute.
my red glasses on today.
You look so
So anyway, with my surrogacy, the very first surrogate who had my daughter, Margot, who's 20. So she had 5 kids. Her husband didn't bring in a lot of cash. And so she was really good at having kids, and so she could make money
Business.
staying home, right? But what I didn't know was if a surrogate goes on bed rest, you have to pay for their driving, their food, care for their children, everything.
About money.
Yes. And I didn't know that. And she started telling me horrific things were happening.
Yeah, but
Trying to get on
I
bed
don't know your
rest.
financial situation, but I would assume your husband, was he successful at that point in his career?
Well,
Had he
it was
already taken off?
It was more this. No, we were able to do it, right? Because it's expensive.
It is
So
expensive.
so
I'm
grateful
asking, was
forever.
it a struggle or was it no problem at that point in his career?
Oh,
Because
no,
he's
it
made
was,
some, he was an anchor man. I mean, he's had some, big.
why does it keep trying to say that my thing's going to die, but it's plugged in? Oh,
Do you have a bad plug?
yeah. I think that my producer did say I have a bad plug. All right, let me try one more thing. This is the strangest podcast ever.
If anyone's still with us, I'm Jill Zarin.
If anyone's still with us. So anyway, the crazy thing was if a surrogate gets on bed rest, no, but we took out a second mortgage for it. We were not rolling in the dough.
Oh, you weren't rolling. That's what I was asking you. Was money an
No.
issue? Was an issue.
We took out a second mortgage
Wow.
and funded it all.
And
Because you have to put,
and this is your second child.
this is for my second, third, fourth, and fifth.
Right. No, but we're on number 2 right now
Yeah.
talking about that surrogacy. Because I assume it got easier for you financially as you went on, or no?
Yeah. Yeah. So, but the crazy thing was that she was saying all of these things were horribly wrong constantly. And I couldn't eat or sleep. I was so stressed out. But what I found out later was she was just trying to get on bed rest and the things weren't real.
Oh, there was nothing.
So
else.
that was a crazy ride. So by the time that was done, I just said thank you and took my baby. And then I think I met her at a park so she could see her later when she was little. But that was it, because that was not a loving relationship.
Does Margot or any of your kids have any desire to meet the person who carried them, or they're just
No.
literally no.
No, but my twins and my baby Eve have all met theirs because I'm good friends with her, Tara.
Oh, good. Oh,
Yeah, so
the
we
same
had-
for the last 3.
Yeah, so we had a great ride. But you had something interesting too, and that's what just I was going to touch on is that you guys used a sperm donor, but you kept
sperm
it
donor.
private because it was private to you,
We
right?
kept it private because back then that's what you did. And you know
That's
about that
right.
because you were in the same, not position, but you were looking at fertility options. So
And back then, and not a lot of people were doing it.
it was the wild, wild west. It really was. And you know what it turned out? I don't want to, it's too long of a story, but
Yeah.
it turned out that it's a number, right? In a sperm bank, you get number 1, you get number 10, you get number 100, whatever it is, because it's supposed to be anonymous. You know, the traits and attributes of the person who's donating, their race, their age, their ethnicity, their family history, their education. I mean, that's kind of what you know.
Right.
But you don't know their name, and that's because it's anonymous, and that's the way they want it to be. And so do you, especially if you're doing, you have a husband and you're not looking for a father, you're looking for a sperm donor, right? Not a
Right.
relationship. So it's a number. So
Right.
I thought we had number 69 or 67. I don't remember I think, no, 62, because that was the year my husband was born. So I remembered it was 62. That's why I remembered it, because it was the year he was born. It turns out Allie is not 62. She's from 73. They mixed
How
up
do you
the
know?
surname. Because the person who reached out to her on 23andMe to identify himself as her biological father was number 73. That's how. And by the way,
Wait, can I ask something? Does
Oh,
that
yeah.
mean you picked 62 and they gave you a different sperm?
That would be correct.
Holy Toledo. Wow.
Yeah, nobody knows.
I've never heard that before. And
I've
you
heard
have
it.
no idea of knowing unless that's why it's
I've
also
absolutely heard of it,
anonymous.
but I've heard of it to the extreme cases where there are lawsuits. Like, so for example, you only have a lawsuit if you have damages, right? Allison is hardly damaged. Not only is she
No,
hardly
she's
damaged, she's
precious.
magnificently beautiful. She's
Yeah.
super smart, went to Vanderbilt. So what am I suing for? I have no damages. On the other hand, maybe if I had a child who had learning disabilities and all kinds of issues, and they gave me the wrong one could make a case that there's a lawsuit, which I have not looking into or anything.
And there's nothing wrong with learning issues because a lot of my kids have them, but
Well, I'm ADD and I have it. All I'm
Right.
saying, I could mental illness, whatever it is.
wait, whatever it is,
genetically, if
it's not what you signed up for.
Well, in the extreme cases, and I happen to know one of the doctors who I went to early on in my, I didn't end up using him to get a sperm donor, but he was the one who diagnosed my husband as having a low sperm count. His name was Dr.
Right.
Melnick. He was sued later on for mixing up sperm, and I believe it was a white family and a black family, and they both got each other's babies.
Oh,
It's like the most horrific nightmare, not because of race. It's the most horrific nightmare to.
it's
think that
heartbreaking to
you
create
have-
your own baby.
Well, you know what? I can give you the nightmare. The nightmare is your surrogate gives birth to someone else's baby, not yours and your husband's, and someone else gave birth to your.
And they have my kid.
Now, if they're both white, and
Wow.
that's the truth, if they're both white, you may never know,
Right.
because you wouldn't do genetic testing normally unless you had an issue.
Wait a
When one
second.
is black and one is white, then you absolutely know.
So Jill,
But what do you
How-
do? Because it's your
how-
baby, right? It's your egg. In other words, you give birth, it's your egg.
I
but the
got
man's
it.
Sperm wasn't your husband, it was a black man's husband versus, and the white and the black couple
I got it.
had a white man's sperm. So they were both damaged, both wronged. But what do you do? It's your baby. And I don't
Wait
know
a
how
second.
it ended up. There was a big lawsuit. It was a huge thing back 15, 20 years ago. You could look it up on the internet, Melnick.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
And
What
I
I'm
don't know what would
curious
happen. I
about-
think I would keep the baby. It's my baby. I mean, I can't imagine I just can't. I would still keep the baby, but it's
No,
like
as soon as you
one of
raise a
these
kid, you
horrible-
connect with it.
it's one of these horrible things that happen to something where there may be a million that go good. But I'll tell you something, it happened to me. The outcome was good, but it could have been tragic. How careless they were with managing the sperm that was going into me. Could you imagine?
How careless they were with you, then that means with hundreds of others.
Hundreds of others have been. And the other thing is, I always knew something wasn't right because I picked somebody who was biologically looked like my husband because I didn't want anyone to know my secret. right?
Right.
So I picked someone who was 6 foot, brown hair, brown eyes, and Jewish. That was very important to me. Allie comes out with blue eyes. Now, obviously there's blue in my family. If anyone knows anything about genetics, it's big B, little b, little b, little b, right? So in order to have blue, you have to have little b, little b. So I must have it in my genes, right? I must be big B, little b, because my grandfather was blue. Otherwise she couldn't be blue.
Right.
But it was weird because if you look at the genetic scale, if I'm big B, little b, and he's big B, you can't have blue. You can only
But
have
Jill,
blue.
I didn't know
It's very
you're so
rare.
good at genetics and chemistry. All
Yeah,
this
no,
little
only
bit-
on this, and
I'm impressed.
This. I know, I really learned about this. I don't know why when I was in high school and I had no idea my future would be. I really paid attention to that whole thing with the ears being attached and not attached and the recessive genes. I was very, very aware of that stuff. So Allie comes out with blue eyes, and of course most babies do, and hers stuck. Every day I'm waiting for them to turn brown. And my neighbor too, by the way, we had them at the same time. They were like a day apart, and neither one of our kids turned brown. It was really kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
But it always not bothered me. I was so happy, but it was always questioning to me because
Where the hell?
at
Yeah.
first she was short. Now I'm 5'6". He was supposedly 6 foot. So why is she so short? She was always in the 5th percentile for height.
Right.
Why? It never made sense to me. Now, of course, when we found out that her genetic father was blue-eyed,
Right.
and all of his genetic children have his eyes, because Allison has met her genetic siblings. Some of them.
Wow.
They're all blue-eyed. So
Does she look like some of them?
not really, but they all have the blue eyes.
She's a lot cuter.
She's the cutest, I think.
She's so cute.
She's mine. I'm sure if I had another one, I'd say she's the cutest too. But the blue eyes is what carried through. And he's short, not very short, but he's like, I think, how tall was he, Allie? Like 5'8", 5'9"? He wasn't like 6 foot. So now I know why she's short. So,
So wait, you had two big surprise. I mean, you had to kind of get pushed into, bullied into, blackmailed into divulging the first information that you had a sperm donor to start with. Then years later, you get another bomb.
Boom.
That number 73 came out 62.
But let me tell you the danger of that. And I don't know if anyone's listening who's even in this situation or
people are in this because infertility is huge.
Or with a sperm donor. But this would be my big takeaway here. If you are a sperm donor, if you know a sperm donor, you must tell them to not reach out to their genetic siblings on 23andMe or Ancestry. Do not do it. Now, he meant no harm. This man meant no harm. All he was excited to meet his offspring, not to have a relationship, but to say, if you ever need a body part, if you ever want to know who I am, I'm open. Very sweet. I'm open. And if you want to know
why would you say
me,
not to do that?
I'm going to tell you why. What I told you that it was a secret, right? And I told you I was blackmailed. And then this woman told Allie, anyway, she blackmailed me, emotionally blackmailed me, not financially.
I know.
And then she ended up telling her anyway. Okay. So now she knows. But let's say the secret stayed, which was the plan. The plan was to never tell Allie her whole life.
Can I say something about Allie though?
My lawyer knew. Yes.
Wait, you know what I loved about Allie is that she was shocked and hurt because it's discombobulating, but she wasn't mad at you or her dad.
I'll tell you something. In a way, that was
she was mad at the blackmail.
Yes, that was my saving grace, because I do believe if I had told Allie without having that situation, she might have been very angry at us for not telling her. But she was more angry at me being blackmailed and protective of me versus being angry at me for holding the secret, though she understood. But listen,
now
to this.
She understands.
Had this not happened, had this person not come around, we would have been that old school, and there was no reason to tell her and change her life for any reason, because it would make no difference in her life. Except to maybe upset her. There was nothing good that would come of it, in my opinion. So he would have told her. She went on 23andMe anyway, whether I asked her to or not. Like, that wasn't like, don't go on it. Of course, if you tell your kids don't go on it, they're going to go on it even more. So she would have gone on 23andMe. She would have been contacted by him anonymously and said, I'm your biological father. What do you think would have happened then?
So wait a second. She went on 23andMe after she knew there was a sperm donor and she wanted to meet.
But it wasn't correlated. She wanted to do it anyway to meet her cousins.
Sure.
On my side, like, just to know who I'm on 23andMe. And I never thought that my father wasn't my father. But imagine if I go on 23andMe and find out that my father, no, better. I'm on 23andMe and I get an email from someone through the app. You can get, you can opt in or out to be contacted. You can say, I don't want to meet anybody. I don't want to know anybody. I just want information. Or you could say, I'm totally open to anyone reaching out who's connected to me. What if I got an email from someone who said, hey, guess what? I'm biologically half your father. I'd be like, Mom, who's my father, right? It causes a lot of problems out there, people.
But let me ask you this, because I believe everything happens.
Allison would have found out by him, not me.
Yes, but here's my point.
That's why, by the way, he will not notify anyone else because of that. When we explained to him that what could have happened, he didn't even realize it, that he could have, because he didn't even realize that Allie might not have known.
Right.
He never thought of it.
I know, but something about this to me, something about first that everything happens because it's supposed to happen.
That's absolutely true.
And the more we have any sort of secret, as much as we act like it's okay, whatever, any sort of secret is like a little virus eating at us inside.
No. Listen, it was the best thing that happened.
The best.
For me, not for the right reasons, but it was the best thing that happened.
The best.
Let me tell you, just to finish up on this note, for people who are maybe listening about this topic and may think that they are a product of one or know someone. There is a woman who had a sperm donor child, and the child always knew she wasn't married. This was just her and her child. She started something called Donor Sibling Registry. So people write it down if you need to know.
Donor Sibling
Registry. And it's a place where you can register. You are a sperm donor, you know your number, and you say, I'm number 62, and you can contact me. And I gave sperm at this center in 1980s or 1970s. And it's interesting because when you look at the list, you see how the earlier back you go to the 70s, the less information there was about the sperm.
Wow.
Even they didn't know. Back in the beginning, there were no numbers. They literally were anonymous. They didn't want, it was like, go to the bank, get what you get, and be happy you're lucky you're pregnant. That was the thinking. No. And by the way, you understand that? I would have done anything to be pregnant. Didn't matter. I had to be pregnant.
100%.
And you were lucky you had a baby first, that you know the feeling. Some women don't ever get the feeling. They have them through surrogates and it's wonderful, but it's not what they wanted.
Yeah, but that's just life. It's like however you get your kid, it's your kid.
Once. And I always thought, of course, I'd have more, and I only had one, but not because I
might have not had so many had I carried them all, by the way.
Really, it made it easier. Interesting.
Well, once I had the embryos, I had this deep knowing I had to go through all of them.
Oh,
and it was not for religious. It was, I supported people who gave their embryos to
I was gonna say, did you ever consider donating one to someone and having someone else raise?
I had complete clarity. I was supposed to go through all of them.
And did you?
Uh-huh.
Done. Did any not come to fruition?
Well,
Greg, it's just you and me, baby. I lost my girl.
Hi, I'm back. Jill, I missed you.
I'm going to take my hair down just for that. Just in honor of that little pause.
Damn.
You know what it is? I apologize. I usually look better if I do a live podcast, but I've been unpacking for 24 or 48 hours. And I don't even know what my makeup is yet.
Okay, I will have to say I was a little shocked when you were not made up and glamorous when you came on. But knowing all the stuff that you're doing right now, it's off the hook.
I got to show you something. We didn't talk at all about my products. I
want to hear all about it.
Allie, are you here? Of course not when I need her to bring out my stuff. First of all, during the pandemic, Allie and I started a mask company together, and we tie-dyed them in our backyard, and we built this very successful business selling to department stores like Saks Off Fifth, TJ Maxx, Ross, all those stores. They really liked they just liked our whole brand, Saks Off Fifth, and we did an exclusive collection of Jill and Allie home goods for the holidays. Sadly, because of shipping and freight issues, they are just arriving now, and we kind of missed the holidays, but we put them online like 3 days ago, but it's timeless, and it's actually very spring looking. It's very like tie-dye, but we have like playing cards, wine glasses, champagne glasses. We're doing crystal candles, which will be our #1 seller by far for the next 10 years. Are you into crystals?
Yes.
Oh my
I'm
God.
spiritual, girl. I love
You are gonna
crystals.
flip out. So I am too. And I decided, I thought that there was a void that, every time I'd go to like these crystal stores, they never had any candles. I mean, they were like some off-brand, no name, and they weren't even, they were like little chips or whatever. It took me 9 months, literally, I could have had a baby, and we developed it, and we have them now, and they have all these sayings. I'm gonna show you. Give me one second.
Show me. You did have a baby. You're birthing it now.
Of course. Oh my God, all the crystals are like.
I'm excited to see your stuff because I was working on launching my lifestyle brand with product, but now I'm focusing on my nonprofit. I got you. So she's
What we have online right
hipping
now
me.
are 3 of the first ones, which are holographic.
Wait, let me get my glasses. Hold on. I got to see this. Okay.
So these are holographic candles, right?
Beautiful.
And then this says, and then it's got 2 gigantic, ginormous crystals, depending on, now this one, the holographic, are a little more money because they're holographic, it's more money, but there's 2 different stones in each. So this one has lapis, which is an expensive stone, and rainbow fluorite. It says, less is more, light to welcome peace, creativity, balance, and organization. So this is for someone who needs to get their shit together, organized, right?
I love it. So wait, when it
Manifestation
melts,
candles. Oh, when they melt, you can leave them, or you can take them out, rinse them out, and use them and put them under your pillow or in your pocketbook.
so you can clean them off and keep them, right?
Oh, 100%. You can pull them out when it's dry. You can pull them out when they're wet with a spoon. Don't use your hands. Not a good idea. Then we have Self-Love Club, which of course, if you know anything about crystals, what do you think one of the crystals are for love?
It is rose quartz.
That's it. Rose quartz and amethyst, which is an expensive one. So I average priced it. So they're all the same price, but like amethyst is like $1 more. Self-Love Club, light for unconditional compassion and a sense of peace and serenity.
Look at my amethyst.
Gigantic. Look how big this, what is that? Amethyst?
Yes.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, I love crystals
Answer
so
the
much.
door?
Jill, those are
I'll help you answer.
awesome.
And then we did pastel. We have 10 colors. This is one of them. It says boss
beautiful.
babe, light to boost confidence, wisdom, and inspiration. So you can give this to your boss or if you are the boss. It has 2 amethyst crystals. We already started burning this one. And this is lapis crystal, manifestation candle, ocean breeze scent. They're 100% soy. So it's a clean burn. And what that means people don't know is when you blow out the candle, if you see black smoke, that's not good. That's a bad burn. When you blow it out and you see white smoke, that's a clean burn. And very little smoke is better than a lot of smoke. Always trim your wick, whatever candle you're burning, always cut it so it's about 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch above the wax. That way you'll get a nice burn. You don't want the flame. You never want a flame above the glass. If it's above the glass, it's dangerous. Yes.
My question is, did you go look at a bunch of different products and pick the ones that you're for your brand, or did you design that? How did that happen?
We have a great designer. We do. We have a great graphic artist and designer. And it started with the masks. And then it just grew in terms of like what our color looks like, what our brand identity is. We have hours and hours and hours of meetings of everybody bringing things and ideas.
I love it.
This was built from scratch. Like there's nobody out there who has anything like this. No candles are out there. And this comes in 10 different colors, 10 different manifestations. So you have it for love, you have it for money, you have it for health, you have it for everything. And they're on jillandally.com and they're at Saks off 5th Avenue, starting
Jill and Allie, you spell out and?
ANDALLY.com. But if you forget, you can just always go to jillzarin.com and you can click on candles and it'll take you where you need to go. So I'm going to show you more stuff.
Okay, you're living my dream. Jill, you're living my dream a little bit because I have 2 darling girls and I'm like, guys, let's get in business together. And you're doing that with your daughter and I love it.
You're gonna freak. So we did champagne glasses that are holographic. Look at the packaging.
Oh my goodness, look, I love it.
And I don't know if people know this, but Champagne has now said, champagne companies, that stemless glasses are much better than the ones with a stem. I don't know why. I didn't say it. That's what they say, just so you know.
I do like stemless wine glasses.
We did cheese boards that are ceramic because everyone is wood and we wanted to do something a little higher end. But by the way, almost everything that I'm showing you is under $50, pretty much.
Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous.
Except for that we have big, beautiful like tie-dye trays that are gorgeous, ombre trays. Those are about $75, the big one, because of shipping and everything else. But the ceramic ones are good for people who are like, if you're having 4 or 5 people over for a cheese board, when you make those big cheese boards, you end up throwing most of it away. You can't
Right.
eat that much. And once you've cut the cheese, literally, it's not as good the next day. You know, you want it to be whole. So you throw out a lot of waste. So that's why we made some smaller ones. And then this you're going to love. I mean, these are just great items for all year long, for a birthday gift, for yourself. But these are our dessert plates. But the packaging is so cool. Like there's no other brand out there that I know of that has this. And then we have all the plates that they have saying.
Go
and
to
it
the
says
front
Jill and
again.
Allie on the back. So this
Let
one
me see
says
the front.
one more bite. And it's
I
gold.
love the dots.
So, and then, so they all have different sayings and stuff like that. And then, one of, I think your favorites would be is we have oh, it's not in here. We have a wine glass. Yeah, we do. I have a wine glass that holds an entire bottle of wine.
Oh, I've heard of those.
I have it. And it says,
It's so
"Future reality
hilarious.
star." It's really great. The thing is, and I have to tell people this, I don't even have one in here. It's empty. Isn't that great? It's empty. It comes in this beautiful box and it looks like that. And it
Stemless.
says reality star. But whenever you have gold on anything, plates, dishes, have to hand wash. If you put it in the washing machine, it's going to go away. And
Yeah.
I did it. I did it myself and it went away. And I was very mad at myself because I should know better. How could I not know better? Then we have playing cards with dice that come in it. And
Oh
these
my
are just
gosh, these are so
great.
sexy and I love the colors.
And this will be great even for like kids for camp or college or home.
Why hasn't Allie shown her face?
I don't know why, Allie. Allie, come in, say hi.
Get over here and say hi.
Right. So then we have like jars. So today, so I have these in my kitchen, right? I just moved, but I said to myself, you know where I'm going to put these? I'm going to put these in the bathroom and I'm going to put cotton balls in them.
Darling.
Doesn't have to be for cookies and stuff. It could be in your bathroom. And then we have things like, and this will be the last thing I show you, but we have other stuff, but like wine stoppers, which is just,
I need all of that. I'm going to get all of it.
so much fun. It's so much fun. So between the candles and this, that's Jill and Allie. And masks, of course, mask business is up because people are flying, people are moving. You know, you're going to have to wear masks, I think, for a very long time. I mean, I think masks are going to be part of our culture, whether you like it or not, for the foreseeable future, if we want to be able to not go back to lockdown. I mean, I don't think that our country could tolerate another lockdown for COVID.
No, are your masks all tie-dye?
They are not all tie-dye, but they're all colors. So they're, you know, dyed a color.
Yeah.
So it's not like tie-dye multicolor.
Oh,
But
great.
they're all dyed. They're the softest, nicest mask on the market. And all our reviews say it, you know, thousands and thousands of reviews.
So am I hearing that you're sending me a goodie package?
Absolutely send you a goodie package.
That's all that I was hearing during all of that. Did I get that right?
Sending you. You did get that right.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
sure we
Merry
told you that.
Christmas.
And a happy new year.
So you look happy.
I'm happy. I am happy. I'm stressed.
You're happy.
And I want
Good stress.
Good stress.
Good stress.
Good stress.
Okay, so
And then,
good stress.
so Jill and Allie is this. And then Jill Zarin, which is like the mothership.
Your
is
rugs.
Is my rugs. I mean, that's really my bread and butter. And I just put down a new rug today.
Let me get my glasses again. You keep having. Oh, I love it.
Pretty, right? So that's a navy one. The reason why we love them is because they are dog proof. So, you know, although Bossy has not christened the rug yet, I'm waiting for her to. And it doesn't matter because I just blot it and it comes right out and it doesn't stain. And that's all you
So my dogs go outside to go potty, but do you potty train yours or you just clean up after them constantly?
Both. I mean, I definitely potty trained her and she went on the wee-wee pad for the last 3 days. But, you know, knowing her, she's going to go back to her bad habits. That's because I had no carpets. See, she likes to go on something soft. So the softest is the carpet. The second softest is the wee-wee pad. But
And in New York, when you're on the 45th floor, you don't want to have to go down every time for a pee. So you have a little pee
I
pad.
thought about throwing her out the window and catching her, but I don't think that's going to work.
No.
No.
Just lower her down in a bucket.
I could lower down the bucket. She is so cute. Or I could stuff her in Gary's pocket and just send him outside to work.
Where is she?
Right now? I don't know. Oh, she's right here. Look, you see her in the corner? She's on the floor. That dot.
Call
that
her,
blonde.
call her and show her.
You see her wake up? Come here, baby. Oh,
I mean, we're
look,
having a circus of all the people in your house. Let's wrap it up with the dog.
on her back. She was about to go on the back saying, rub my belly.
Oh,
This is the boss. She
it's
is
a
the best.
Pomeranian. How old is she?
She's 6, 7, 6,
Do you
7.
love her?
Do I love her? Oh my God. I think everyone in America loves her. Really.
She's so beautiful. And she
she's a
cleans
real
your
therapy dog.
nostrils.
She does. She cleans everything. She's a real therapy dog though.
Everything?
You know? Well, no, not everything.
Okay, I just wondered. She's a therapy dog. I have a dog
so-
like that.
You do? What kind of dog?
It's a golden doodle, but no, I'm sorry. The golden doodle is the hyper one. It's a labradoodle. She's like a healing dog.
Well, they're fun to dress up too, because they've got the kind of body and hair that looks really good in dog clothes, right?
I love it.
I know, I'm a little jealous. She doesn't really look great in clothes and she doesn't like to wear clothes. She likes to be free. But
Can I ask you one more thing? Because I this is Messy Imperfect, and I know that your beloved, who I met, passed, Bobby. And how was that? How long was it? Because sometimes when somebody has like an illness and it's leading up to it, you have some preparation, you kind of know.
We did.
Yeah, and so you get to have closure and kind of that while they're still alive.
It's true.
And then the grieving period, how was that for you?
It was really, so Bobby was diagnosed 10 on the show. We were actually filming, Housewives. That's part of the reason why, Bethany and I had that falling out. Was that he was diagnosed 10 years before, and they told us he had 10 years. I mean, they did. They were pretty, and they were right on the money, by the way. 10 years, and then they removed his thyroid, and he went on medication or whatever, but eventually it spread to his lungs, and then it went to his brain. And when it went to his brain, we knew he didn't have more than a year based on statistics. And
was it excruciating when it went to his brain?
Not at all. No pain.
Okay.
Not really.
Because my friend's
like you think.
my friend's wife had it in her brain, and it just she was screaming and didn't know where she was. It was like really scary for the kids.
Was it thyroid cancer in the brain, or was it brain
No,
cancer?
it was something that moved to her brain, but it wasn't thyroid.
Right. So I think every disease has a different pain
symptoms,
I guess, different symptoms. And Bobby was such a non-complainer that, and they listen, he was on that patch, the one that they use for heroin. What's that thing called?
To help with the pain.
Yeah, they had a patch on him for months. And though he acted normal and everything was okay, I'm sure that took care of any pain that he might have had. But so he got really, really sick after 6 months after it went to the brain, and he was dying. And that's when I really started to mourn. That's when I didn't eat for weeks, a couple of weeks, and I thought he was dying literally within days or a week. And then we found this miracle drug cure that he started to take, and it was working. And he came back to life to such an extent that we started removing all these things that they had attached to him. And we didn't know how long that would last. We hoped it would last at least 2 years, 2 months, 3 months. That's it.
So he kind of got better, and then he went.
He got really good for 3 months. He got, what he got? He got a one last, and I think if we could all be so lucky, he got one more, any regrets or whatever, anything he wanted to tell me, he had enough time. So we knew that we were getting close. So when we had that extra 6, it was a total of 6 months. 3 months he was great. 3 months he suffered, and then he passed.
And then he went.
So by the time he did pass, Leigh, I had already mourned. I thought he died in the summer.
I hear you.
I got him back, but then I knew. And he was telling me everything and I was making videos and doing all the things. So by the time he died, I don't want to say it was a relief for me. It was a relief for him.
Yes.
It literally rest in peace, because he had done everything he needed to do and kind of wrapped it up. He got to wrap it up. I
love that.
You know what? I don't know what listen, we don't have a choice in life, but I don't know if I'd rather wrap it up or just be like that and not even know.
My dad was like that, but I think there's something beautiful how Bobby went. Now, when I came to visit you and I saw him, that was kind of towards the end, right?
What month was it? I think it was June.
I think, I know it was summertime because we went on a boat.
But it was the summer, that was his last summer, it was 2017. So you saw him at the very end.
And he was so kind and sweet and gracious, and we were in his home.
He was slowing down then, and he would never let you know it. But I'm so lucky I had him for as long as I did. I love
that.
He was so amazing. I mean, He's so amazing. And Gary's so amazing, but I never.
Gary is so
compare all
darling.
the time. I do compare him all the time. I'm always like, Gary, Bobby used to do this, and Bobby used to. I'm the worst.
Jill.
I'm the worst. I admit it. I'm the worst. And Gary's so great about it, though. And that's probably why I can do it, because he gives me permission to do it. If it bothered him, I wouldn't do it. Obviously.
Yeah.
I would never
And he
do
might
something.
like a little training, getting it kind of the way you like it. I think it's
Well, one
nice.
thing is, Gary met Bobby one time. He says years and years ago, which I don't even remember. He says we came up to his office to do a brand of suits for Bobby. I don't even remember, but he remembers. And he said he had first of all, Bobby was much older than Gary. Gary's 56. At least 20 years.
So you robbed the cradle?
He was like 50. Well, no, but Gary was probably 50 when Bobby was 70. There's like 20 years apart. So he has a lot of respect for Bobby as a human being. He was older, more sophisticated.
Yeah.
He's had a great reputation. So and his memory is so honored that there's nothing that anybody could say, and Gary's not insecure either. He knows who he is.
So Gary's darling.
He's not insecure. I could talk about Bobby
Congratulations.
all day long, and he
Yeah.
would join me.
Oh, I love that so
Because
much.
you can't compete with a dead person, nor do you want to. And
Right.
there's
It's
no
honoring
threat.
his memory.
There's no threat, none. I still have Bobby's picture. I mean, he was a big part of my life. I'm not going to make that disappear. I don't want to.
No, absolutely not. And I love all of that. I love that you can talk about him.
what?
It's
His daughter
honoring his
just got-
memory.
You know what? His daughter got married Sunday.
Oh.
Bobby's daughter. And though I wasn't invited to the in-person because of COVID, and they only had about 20 people, I was on the Zoom call. And I got to tell you, Bobby, that's all he wanted was for his daughter to get married one day.
Oh, so he's up in
Never
heaven
alone.
kicking it.
Absolutely. You know what? He did not, nobody wants to be alone. You know what I mean? Nobody wants their children to be alone. So
Right.
he never wanted, he was worried. Of course, we all are. When he passed, his daughter wasn't married yet. And, he wanted, and
How old was she?
Well, now she's like 42. She just got married.
Well, that's great. It's never too late, ladies.
No, it's never too late. Oh, definitely never too late. It's really when you're ready.
And I just want to say to you, Jill, that I love you to death. We've only met in person one time, and twice, I think.
Oh, twice. That was
out here for dinner and once at your place.
That was only one time you came to New York. I thought you came twice.
No, I think I just came once. I have a bad memory. But what I remember about you is your home represents who you are. It's wide open. You were so kind. And I remember you had your Costco rotisserie chicken cut up in the fridge, and you had watermelon. And I thought, that is all we need, is some white meat chicken
my food,
and some
right?
watermelon.
Pinkberry, and Diet Coke. Those are my three things. But there's no Pinkberry in the Hamptons. That's why. But Diet Coke. But by the way, I'm also selling now Bravo swag from the Housewives, because I didn't really like what they made, so we made our own. So I did like Housewife for the holidays or whatever. I have one that says, "Where's my Diet Coke?" That's all. That's my number 2 bestseller. My number 2 bestseller is "Where's my Diet Coke?"
I would have bought that for my mom.
It doesn't have to be for someone, but it doesn't have to be for a Housewives fan. It's for people who are addicted to Diet Coke.
My mom was addicted. What was the other thing I was going to say about that when I came? Oh, you know that I manifested that trip because I thought I've never been to the Hamptons. I don't want to go as a tourist.
Right.
I want to go with somebody who knows about it. And then Jill said, "Do you want to go with me to Jill Zarin?"
Your listeners, another Jill.
Yes, Jill Van Lokeren. And she was like, "Do you want to go with me to Jill Zarin?" So I was like, yes. And I can check that off of my little list. And the way you showed it to us was a dream come true.
Really?
And I don't know if I thoroughly ever thanked you that you took like a bucket list thing off of mine in a way bigger. Remember, you took us to a billionaire's house and he had those bunk beds everywhere. And that huge
I know
party.
I won't say who it is, but yes, he's now gotten a girlfriend and he's not doing that whole scene anymore.
Oh my gosh.
He still has the house, and the house is more magnificent than ever. He's got an art, he has an art curator person who works with him. He filled up his whole yard with the sickest sculptures you've ever seen.
I saw
like
a couple of
30-foot tall boots. I mean, like crazy stuff. Yeah.
I mean, his place was so phenomenal. It just, I couldn't get enough of it. It was exactly what I dreamed of seeing.
Did I take you to, I don't want to say names, but yeah, there were a couple of houses we probably went to, right?
We went to a couple of houses and we went to that really shishi place for lunch. And you said, just so you know, they don't let everyone in. Like literally they'll say, we're not open, and they'd rather have it empty than let people in.
Was it Bibloquet on the water in Sag Harbor?
I think, yes.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's
And
true.
we walked
They don't
up
have
to
a
the
phone number
door.
either.
We walked up to the door and there was a man and he said, we only allow men. And I said, well, good, I have a penis. And he started laughing and we all laughed and he let us in.
Men? He must have been joking. Because Bibloquet.
Yeah, he was messing with us.
Yeah.
He looked us up and down and he's like, we only allow men in here. And I said, thank God, because I have a penis. And then he laughed and we all went in. And I was like, that everything about that was magical.
Well, I bought a place right down the block from that restaurant.
No.
I gave up that house. It was a rental and we gave it up because Bobby passed. I couldn't go back. I had to give it up.
No. You did your time there and I got to enjoy that gorgeous place.
That
And be
house
on that
was magic.
big floaty raft with the infinity pool looking out at the
know.
ocean. That's
You
still
wanna
one of
hear
my
the nicest
best
thing?
pictures.
The people who rented it after me contacted me and said, we know we're renting your house. And they said, we'd love to invite you to come here, stay here anytime, come visit, anything.
How sweet.
Wasn't that nice?
That was so sweet.
I might take them up
Okay.
on it, not to stay, but to visit.
Okay, so I love you so much. I want everyone to go buy your stuff. It's festive, it's fun, it sparkles, just like
It
you
is.
do.
And it's mostly all under $50 gifts. And, if you order a certain amount of stuff online, we offer free shipping. So it's jillandallie.com. And for your listeners, we'll give a discount code. Allie, we'll come up with it. Greg, do you have a name that you usually use for companies? Like the name of your show?
So the name of the show is Messy Imperfect Life with Leigh.
So let's do Messy.
Messy Imperfect.
Allie, what percentage off do we give?
Messy Imperfect. Should we do 13%?
Oh, wait, how did you know that's our lucky number?
Well, 33 is my favorite number and I like threes. So I was
My
just
mother
thinking,
and father are born on the 13th.
isn't that
Because
weird how
our
things work
family-
out?
And my birthday's on the 30th. Allie's on the 1st. 1 and 3 is 13. 1 and 3, 13's off.
Is that weird that I said 13 out of the blue?
So that's it. It's going to be Messy 13
Messy 13.
for an additional 13% off. Yes.
For additional oh, I love that so much. So you're welcome, listeners. We just came up right now for you and my watchers.
And one other thing I didn't tell you is we also have furniture now, the breakdown kind. And anybody who's looking for furniture knows that everything is out of stock and you have to wait like a year. Everything I have is in stock on the website. So
I can't wait to look.
It's fantastic furniture for value. And all you have to do is find somebody who you hate and ask them to put it together for you.
I love it.
I'm just kidding. You can hire someone for $100 and get a what do they call that? I forgot. TaskRabbit or something like that. Or you could do it yourself like I did. I did a video online showing how you could do it yourself.
I'm impressed.
I did it. It took me a
You're
long time.
multi-talented.
And I did it. I'm going to do another one here. I'm going to put another one together.
Okay, so my last part of advice for you is make time for tennis.
I am. I already booked my tennis. I'm going to Florida tomorrow and I have tennis on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the whole week. Boot camp.
And get your knee looked at.
Yeah, I need an x-ray.
I love you.
I love you. Happy holidays. And we'll be
Happy
sending you something.
holidays.
Mwah. Love you.
Bye, love.
Bye, honey.